way. Yeah, let's backtrack just to make sure. Did we do this one?
Oh, we did. We didn't do that one, but we haven't done I don't think we did.
Is this 8 or 9?
That's, I'm not sure if we did that.
They do this one.
I don't know.
Okay, I guess yes. Some people are saying no. Okay. All right. Benny Lance and states peace could not be strong. All right. Who can read this one? It's Tuesday, guys. Tuesday is the hardest day of the week because you're not halfway through yet. And if you're, I would say for the play tomorrow, it's 8 o'clock, I think. But that'll be a 13-hour day, so I'm terrified about tomorrow. I mean, I could leave between. I could not be there for the audition, but we had like some parents meeting for some reason. I don't know why. And I don't know. Or I don't know what it. Yeah, it's like I say something to the parents about props, and so I have to stay until 8 o'clock. I don't know. I don't get it. But once we get through tomorrow, then the week's almost over. Who can read this? Person?
Omnis, Awari, Tyrannos, Nunc, Superare, et Necare, Adiuvans.
Good. What do y'all think the subject might be here, Nathan? What do you have any guess? What do you think the subject might be?
I don't know.
That's not good enough. Hayden, what do you think? Tyrannos, maybe. But I see that OS ending on the end of Tyrannos, and I think that looks kind of accusative. That looks like it could be a direct object, honestly. Danny, what do you think? Yeah, maybe just homonyms. Guys, remember, don't overthink that too much. Yeah, we have more complicated kinds of sentences where the verb is first or second person, and so we do not start off with a subject. Well, pretty much almost every time our verb is third person, which I'm already looking at the end and seeing something that looks kind of third person. In those cases, we'll usually have the subject as the first noun of the sentence, right? So there's not all the sentences, but if something looks like it could be nominative in the first noun of the sentence, it probably is just a subject. So something about men. But is it just men? Does anything go with it? Is it just like plain old men? What is Avari doing? Chicken person is telling us that Avar means greedy because we haven't seen it in a while. What kind of men could it be, Aiden? What do you think? Is there any adjective going with men? Carson?
I think Awari would go.
Yeah, it's probably Avari there. And so this is more complicated than it might seem, or maybe it's less complicated than it seems. But these go together. Weirdly, kind of strange, right? But homonyms has a third declension nominative plural ending right here with this es. Like it could be the direct object, but right now we'll probably just operate under the assumption that it's the subject. Whereas Avari has second declension nominative plural ending. Right? Like as long as I could also be genitive in the second declension, but there's no reason for us to think that it's not just the same case as homonyms. They don't look the same. They're from different declensions, different sides of the railroad tracks, but they probably do go together. So it's just a greedy men. And then we hit Tyrannos, which I already said this. So let's see who was listening. We got some weird seat shakeups. Interesting. Why are people moving? What?
John stole my seat, so I had to move.
John stole your seat. Natalie and Ava did a switcheroo. This is crazy. Macy, what do you think? Toronto case? I already kind of said it, but what case is Tyrannos here? Yeah, always. So Macy has some resources out. Everyone should have resources out. I don't know why people don't always have. Macy's got something. Accusative, yeah, it's accusative, so it's probably what kind of object? Yeah. So our subject is running right up against our direct object. This happens a lot, right? We don't freak out. Yeah, we're not ready for the direct object yet, but like it's fine. We can deal with our subject running into our direct object. That's what happens like 90% of the time in Latin. What we need to do now is go find our verb or verbs towards the end of the sentence most likely and put them between the subject and the direct object. So I see nunc, that means now. I see superare and necare, which are unconjugated verbs. It's kind of weird. But then I see audebon. I'm like, oh, that's my conjugated verb. That's the verb I should start with. It's right where our verbs usually are when it's a kind of like normal subject, object, verb kind of sentence like this, which it is. What, Maddie?
Devin's not here today.
Interesting.
You totally forgot about it.
None of us realized. I was the one that
That's not in a mean way. It's just because,
No, it's because I completely forgot.
and it's because the seating arrangements are weird.
It's funny because Devin was like,
I knew somebody was missing in that zone.
oh, we're so mean. We just forgot about everybody.
Riley. What's Riley's last name? That's right. That's right.
Who else is in here? I'm not here. Why are you looking at me?
I could like call a roll. I just like don't ever want to. Is that it? It's Devin, Riley, and Sam. What? What's weird about that?
I didn't notice any. We're so mean. We just forgot about everybody.
It doesn't have to be a mean thing. It's just like I don't take roll. I've like never taken roll in my life. It feels like such a waste of time. But the result of that is it's really only important in the first period. But it's like if I don't mark things absent, in second period your teachers are like, wait, were they here in first and now they're gone? What happened? Is Mr. Catalanello bad taking roll? It's like, yeah, he is. Greedy men. Why did it froze? It froze. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Okay. All right. Greedy men, and then we hit the direct object. What does Audeo Audere mean, Ava? Is there a new verb along with Neko Nakare? It means truth or Taylor? Means to dare. And what tense is it, Soraya? That light blue almost makes it where you can't even see it. Yeah. Okay, so Soraya sees the B-U-N-T ending. She thinks of bundt cake. She knows bundt cake is futuristic, apparently. And so she knows this is future. So it's not, so does everybody follow this? That like, once we, translating is all about identifying nouns and identifying verbs in terms of like the vocabulary, but also like the case endings and the verb. That's all the translation of any language ever is. If we can get this far where we realize this is the subject and this is direct object, are y'all kind of used to at this point? Skipping everything until we get to our verb and then bringing our verb up between the subject and direct object. Like are y'all kind of used to that? I call it the kick flip of translation, the ollie maybe. I don't know. But it's like the basic trick that you need to master at this point. Nathan, are you comfortable with that little maneuver we do where we have to move the verb between the subject and the direct object? It's a whole thing where in Latin they would say something like, I, the subject, the hamburger eat. In English we say, I eat the hamburger. And so we take a sentence like, I, the hamburger eat, and we need to make it look like I eat the hamburger. And all that involves is switching the place of the verb, basically, moving it between the subject and direct object. So, greedy men, do they dare? Present tense. Will they dare? Future, or were they daring? Imperfect. Nelius. We said it's future, so. So what helping verb do we use? Will, were, or just straight up dare? Greedy men dare. Kylie, what do you think? We decided it's future, so this should not be a hard question to answer. Do we say greedy men will dare, greedy men were daring, or greedy men dare present tense? Natalie, okay. Yes, will dare. Okay. So hopefully it doesn't take that long for people going forward. If it's future tense, you use will. That's it. Full stop. Period. You use the word will to make things future tense in English. A lot of people are still, they'll be able to identify something's future and then they don't remember to just use will, like Kylie was able to. So like you need to be able to make that connection, right? We use will to make things future in English. That should be pretty easy. Greedy men will dare, and then maybe now I can take on these weird unconjugated infinitives. They will dare to what? What does Nakare mean? Person? Kill, and superare to anyone? Taylor? Overcome. What does Nunk mean, Ava? Yeah, we can put now wherever. They will dare to overcome and kill what? The direct object, right? The direct object is going to, like now we had 3 verbs, which is kind of rare. But we translated all 3 of them now. We had to translate the conjugated one before the unconjugated complementary infinitives because audeo takes an infinitive just like assume. And so now we are ready for our what? What is the last piece of the puzzle that we need to put in the translation? Besides now, Ava? Yeah, well, and it's a rumor greedy's going with men, so it's just tyrants. But yeah, we're ready for a direct object. Once we translated all the verb or verbs, we're ready for the direct object, which we already identified as tyrannos. So that's who they're going to overcome and kill, these greedy men. Now, is this sentence interesting to anybody?
No.
No? I think it's kind of, yeah, Macy? Like the idea it's expressing? Right. I feel like it's calling out the senator. We'll learn more about these guys later, but the senators Brutus and Cassius, who killed Julius Caesar along with like several other senators. But it's kind of like it's giving us a bad impression of them. Sometimes we think of them as like good guys who are trying to save the republic and save democracy by killing a would-be king. But this is saying like some men do that for the wrong reasons, and they do that for selfish reasons because they're greedy, and in which case it's not patriotic, it's not pro-democratic, it's actually just chaotic and bad. So that's kind of interesting. I think it is. And I got a new remote. No, I got a new remote receiver.
Did it cost money?
No, I just lost my last one for the YMCA. I probably ate it or something. But the issue is, it's like I have to be. So even right here, I can't. So maybe I can. See how far back can I get? Oh, I can do it here, but not always. Like now, I'm trying to go back and I can't. So it's like I can't go too far. But anyway, who wants to read this one? Curse.
More patriotic Kiwi Tate news about some terrible life.
Good. By the way, just go ahead and stand and remember, people who took makeups yesterday, I graded those and entered those. If they were higher, a couple people got the same grade. So if you really want it, you can come ask me about it, but I probably won't, maybe eventually I'll get it to you. What do you think the subject is, Carson?
Actually, I'm just going to point out that Lollybot is different on there than it is on there.
Oh, because it should be singular, right?
Yeah, it's the...
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Okay. It's probably going to go back to looking plural, but we'll just remember that I type it. So what do we think the subject is here, Maddie? What do we think the subject be? Why is it hot in here? Patriae, patriae could be nominative plural, but I feel like there's something else that's really screaming out to us that it's the subject, actually. Maddie Dugan? What do you think the subject is? If you just had to guess. What did we learn from our last sentence? Sometimes the subject, it just turns out to be most simply the... So this, I guess this becomes hard if y'all don't know your vocabulary words. Ava, what is the subject? We could be she or it, but maybe we have an it, and by that I mean maybe there is a nominative singular to agree with our third person verb. Huh? Yeah, right. So it's a more. Yeah. So a more, it's the first noun we see. It's a new noun. It means what, new one? Look. So in this way, sometimes Latin students will overthink things. Early on, their issue will be actually that they're thinking too hard about something. And sometimes it's the most simple answer is the correct answer. And it's just that the first word we see is the subject. That happened in this sentence. That happened in this sentence. No, it didn't happen in this sentence. But it happened in the two before it. It happened in this sentence. And it happened in this sentence. So, it happens a good bit, right? Just in terms of, the law of averages, it's likely to happen. Doesn't always. Anyway, love. What case is patriae? Patriae is a nominative plural. Then it's probably what, Richard?
Accusative?
Not accused. Can't be accusative. Where does that AE show up? I know these are kind of far away, but...
Oh, genitive.
Yeah, it's probably just genitive, right? We would first think nominative plural, but we're not going to think that once we realize the more is nominative singular. We already have a subject. So the next thing we think is just genitive. So that'd be the love blank the country. Anyone? John? Exactly. Love of the fatherland or the country. Very good. Yeah, that's what it would be. It's possessive of the subject. And then in civitate nostra, what's that? Ava? Yeah, it's actually our. So nostra is our, tuus investere, Caitlin, is your. So again, in our state, those are what case name before I flip and reveal the color coding. If it's in our state, those must be with that macron A, Caitlin. Yes, those are little ablatives. Oh, apparently I wanted to talk about the verb first. Let's talk about the verb first. Walaybont, I gave it away, but what tense is it, Jake? What tense is walaybont back in the day? Is it future or imperfect? That would be bunch, right? It would be the bunch cake ending. But this is bunch, where my mnemonic is kind of back in the day. I don't know if that really helps. So like I see BA, I think back in the day. Is past, which our word for that is imperfect. So it's like the fatherland was always strong in our state. And I added, or fatherland. And I added semper between the verb, like was always strong. Because adverbs are often very cozy, kind of being translated in the midst of verbs, right? Adverbs are like part of the predicate. Predicate is just a fancy word for anything that's involved with your verbs. Don't get thrown off in the word predicate. It literally is just someone saying like verb, but it's kind of like a broader idea of the verb, where it's like the verb plus any predicate or helping verb that goes with it. So in this case, it includes was and always, because was is like a helping verb, always is an adverb. Any questiones about this one, guys? All right, let's keep moving. Let's talk about, is it this? Oh, there's still one more? No. Wait, this isn't y'all's.
This ain't ours.
What the? Oh my gosh. Okay, I put that in the wrong spot. All right. Can I go back? No, I don't want to. Do I have to? We better keep moving. Guys, think about it. I want y'all to write things down as we go, but like, I don't know if 6 through 10 is ever going to be useful to you outside of this. So I don't, anyway, here it is for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And
Cheater.
all right. So guys, we have this weird story. I already showed y'all those pictures of this mom being like carried by her 2 sons to a temple. I do not have a paper. I weighed this. I said, should I print out 90 copies of this paper just for spot translating just today? And I said, I guess not. And that's kind of weird because I think kids feel like less engaged when there's not something to write down the stuff on. But maybe take out some notebook paper and just be all ears and eyeballs on the projector and be looking up here. And we're doing spot translating. So yeah, that feels kind of weird. But like, again, it's like really just for today. And I have 91.5 kids. So like every time I want to give y'all something, 91.5. Yeah, that sounds like a radio station. So every time I want to give y'all something, it's like a big old thing. So I try not to give you more than like a quiz a week and your homework a week, so that like I'm not fully like responsible for the destruction of the Amazon. Okay, but our little, like, these will be small, but we're also, all the glossed words are going to be up here. This is one of our stories. Next time I'll print it out for you guys. How about that? Maybe like on and off, like every other one will. And this also is not a very exciting one, but it's got some exciting grammar. It's just like the story's not very cool, but there is some depth at the end. Okay, so we got Cleobis here. Cleobis is a Greek name, so we can't even say what declension Cleobis's name is. It's, I don't know. Like, apparently that's how it looks in the nominative and the genitive. So technically it's some kind of weird third declension. Cleobis has a brother, Baton, not like baton, but Baton, yeah. And Batonus, he's third declension. And then Sidipe, their mom, and she has a very Greek name. She's all kind of crazy. Apparently Sidipe is her nominative, Sidipes is her genitive, Sidipai is her dative, and Sidipin is her accusative. So that's just a Greek declension. That's not like a Latin declension. Anyway, does anybody want to read these first 5 words? Okay, and you guys read the whole 2 sentences. You don't. Quoi? Good. And by the way, Ella or any other computer kids, I did just add this to the notebook. It's at the bottom of the notebook page for week 9. So y'all have access to the PDF, whereas my in-building class kids do not.
Do they get to print it out?
Yeah, they can print it out, whereas you guys, y'all are stuck with nothing. Well, y'all can draw pictures of what you think Cleobis Batonque look like while taking light notes on maybe interesting grammatical things that happen. No, yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, you guys are the guinea pigs for the day all the time. Probably like the first 1.5 class I teach, the first period. So I like think of things during class. Like I didn't have any of my other classes yesterday write verbs on the verb part of that noun chart. It was like, I realized with y'all that was a bad idea. But so how about you guys focus on vocabulary? Not the vocabulary that they're going to gloss for us that is like new stuff, But words you see that like you're supposed to know, like errant. I bet a lot of people don't know what errant means. You need to know it. So somewhere in your notebook, there should be a dedicated place where you write down vocab words that you encounter throughout the week that you don't recognize, but you know that you should know by now. So that's what y'all are going to be doing while we do this, right? Like that's genius, galaxy brain moment. Great. Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes, what does it mean? We needed to know 7 years ago what it meant because it was a chapter 6 thing. So what I actually mean is we needed to know what it meant like a week and a half ago. It's a chapter 6 thing. It's a version of est, right? Is it the future or the imperfect version of est? Est is just is, or actually I should say sunt, because sunt is the plural version of est. Sunt is are. So is errant were or will be? Anyone? It's were. Why do you know that, Ava? There's an A, right? When I say this rule out loud, I feel like it doesn't sound like a good rule, but like if you see an A after an R in sum or possum, that's imperfect. If you see an OI or U, it's future. Like that doesn't sound like a good rule that's easy to remember, but that's the rule. That's it. You're looking for like vowels after R's for sum and possum, or after B's for normal verbs, right? Bo, bis, fit, bin, bis, fit, is bon, bom, bos, blah. So it's going to be what? Were or will, Ava? Exactly. So Cleobis and baton, right? Because that's all the cle means. It means and is happening like before baton. Cleobis and baton. Ava, or no, I'm sorry, not Ava. Laura and Maddie, we're gonna switch y'all up pretty soon. This is your final warning. I want y'all to listen, okay? I had a talking to with some kids yesterday about how like they're not really focusing in here, and they complain about not understanding the Latin. It's like, well, I wonder why that's happening. Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, so. Like if you want to know Latin better, then like you just kind of force yourself to listen. It's called self-control, guys. Reality is all about like sometimes choosing to like force yourself to do something you don't like, you wouldn't normally totally choose to do, so that later on in the day when you have free time, you can really enjoy that free time and do exactly what you want to do, knowing that you put yourself through some forced focus and attention spending. What do you do with attention? What's the verb?
I don't know.
Attention. Okay, Cleobis and baton were Philly Pseudopes. Again, Pseudopes is crazy. I'll just tell you now she's genitive. Genitive, say that? Well, so it's what? They were the Philly. Anyone? First?
They were the sons of Simon.
Yeah, they were the sons of Pseudopes. So if you don't know that Phileus means sons, you better write that down. If you didn't know that errant means were, you better write that down. You do not need to write Pseudopes down. It's just a crazy name. Sounds like someone trying to say the word centipede, but they have a cold. Cleobis and baton's lowercase because I guess he's the inferior brother. Were the sons of Pseudopes. Pseudopes erat sacerdos dei, you know. I keep cropping this because y'all are the first class today, so I haven't polished it. So, what the heck is sacerdos? Apparently that means priestess. We get words like sacred from it. And Iuno is the goddess who? Anyone? It's Juno. I know this is really tiny up here. It's Juno, so think of that I as a J, and just make you think of Juno. Who is Juno, guys, in like relation to?
She's like Hera.
Yeah, right. She's the Roman Hera. She's the wife of Jupiter. She kind of always hates Jupiter because Jupiter is always messing around with women and humans. So Juno, even though she's a goddess of marriage, has a very dysfunctional relationship with her husband, the king of the Olympians. So Cleobis and Baton were the son of Pseudopes. Pseudopes what? Erat sacerdos dei Eunones. What case are dei Eunones? We've never seen Eunones before, but it is third declension. So what's that IS ending make anyone? Yeah, genitive, good. So what? Pseudopes. So errant with an nt plural is were. What is errant? We don't say Pseudopes were. We say Pseudopes was, right? So we're seeing the imperfect tense a lot. We're probably going to see the imperfect tense over and over again in this story. Pseudopes was the what? Sacerdos, genitive goddess Juno. Anyone a tool? Y'all can kind of like talk out loud if you know things that I'm asking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for like or about Latin.
About Latin.
So she was a what? She was a priestess. Dei Eunones.
So.
Anyone? Ella? Anyone? Somebody say something.
What was the question?
It's not a question. It's just we're translating. And if you know it, you can say it. So Ava already said Dei Eunones are genitive. There they are. They're pink. I'm going to have to keep fixing it.
Oh.
What? She was the priestess Dei Eunonis. My mic doesn't. Oh, Ella's mic doesn't work, so she can't help. I'm gonna assume that she knows, just so that I can feel like somebody knows any Latin at all. Is it just because it's not in front of y'all? I know. I just looked at it. All right. So she was the priestess of the goddess Juno. Are y'all doing good? Y'all see these words? Is it just because it's not in front of you that you feel like you can't really? All right, you're kind of quiet today. Who wants to read this one? Ooh, tough girl. Aiden? Sidipe. Good. So we've seen desideraba before. It's from desidera, means to desire. That's easy. And it takes the complementary infinitive, so we'll like desire to do a second verb. And then what do y'all think statua means? Yeah. So I see with dairy as the first word, and it's like, that's kind of weird. That's a complementary infinitive. Again, you guys are focusing on vocabulary. If you don't know what dairy means to see, you need to write that down. But then I see magnum statuam. What case are magnum statuam? Oh, so quiet, so focused. It's impressive. It's really impressive. Now, yeah, they're accusative. So this is not like one of the sentences we were just translating from the bottom of the homework. We're not starting off with a subject. It kind of looks weird, honestly. We're starting off with an infinitive, and then we have direct objects. So it's kind of weird. It's a case of Eunonis. We just saw her like this. It's from. Let's not pronounce the weird Latin J. Let's just say Juno. So it's Juno, Junonis. So what is Junonis' case if it's third declension? It's what, Ava? Exactly, it's genitive. So it's like the great statue blank Juno. I won't say it because you guys like need to know how to translate genitives 700 years ago. And then Sidipe, what do you think Sidipe is here? I know her name's weird, but like that's her name in the good old normal nominative form. So she's actually the subject, and they're burying the subject deep in the sentence. But that's Latin for you. So Sidipe, what tense is desiderabat? Grace, what tense do you think desiderabat is? I gotta call on people. That's what it is. I can't just. I saw in my class that I could be like, oh, just say it out loud if you know it and could speak up. But...
Yeah, that's your smart one.
No. But like, I think like the ninth graders, they like want to always be shouting things at me, so it works in there. Like Kaylin knows this, but I'm just calling on somebody else. But Kaylin, what?
You got this, Grace.
Yeah, what do you think, Dan? It's imperfect, right, Grace? When we see the BA at the ending, that's imperfect. Think of back in the day. Think of the past tense. So it's at Sidipe, not will desire, not desires present tense, but Sidipe was desiring. And now let's go to the front of the sentence again. She was desiring Videri to, say it out loud, to see, thank you, to see the direct object, right? To see the magnum statuam, the great statue, blank Juno. Of Juno. Very good. Okay. All right. Sorry it's being grumpy, guys. Y'all are participating. 3 of you are. So let's this picture back here, if we go way back. This is what happens eventually, but there's a statue of Juno, I guess that's the statue. And then the mom wants to see it. She's a religious fanatic. She's got to see the statue. She's a priestess of Juno, so like of course she wants to see it. All right. Who can read this next sentence? Before you do, we have some words here. Procul means far away. Ambulo means to walk, like amble is a word for walking. And then bovis means cow, like boviary. It's having to do with cows, right? Means cow. Jake, you want to read this? Good. A babe on it. I think these white kids like mess with my markers and my like bad. All right. So let's see. We have something that it's like. What does that mean? Say it out loud. Yeah. Nope. What does it mean? But B-U-C. Proko means far away. Erot means what? We've already seen erot like twice now. Erot means what? What? No. Then that'd be errant, means was, because it's singular. We don't say he were, we say he was, and we say they were. Remember, was and were like are the same verb, but we have to like think of the right one depending on what the subject is. We don't know what the subject is yet. And then we see statue. So how do we put these words in an order that makes sense? But far away was the statue. That sounds okay, but it sounds kind of weird. Aiden, what do you think? Yeah, that's all it is. It's like we kind of want to move, like in terms of, or the way we think about it in English, we want to move statue up here. Like, but the statue was far away. Maybe Procol after the verb. And centipede, Patrat non ambulare. What is Patrat? It's our possum friend. In what sense is possum there? David, is it feature or is verb? Y'all sometimes it's like, y'all like good packed lunches today? Because I have a turkey wrap and that has like a parfait kind of thing. And I'm like, that's like so tight. Like I just gotta make it to like 10:30 and then I can like eat that. And
Yeah, I make it to like I don't even know.
I usually just have a turkey wrap and like a banana, which like, have y'all ever been able to get through a whole thing of bananas before they go bad?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yes. If you have a, yeah.
My dad takes one and he puts banana.
I do too, but sometimes I don't end up eating it because it's like I like bananas sometimes, but like sometimes I'm like I'm not excited to eat banana. I wish I had like a second turkey wrap. Okay, both the statues far away and centipede. What tense this be, Macy? Is it imperfect or future? Patrat. No, so but that's okay. It's sometimes it's good to get things wrong because then you might learn them after. So there's an A right there, so that makes it imperfect. If it was an I, it would be future. Future really likes the vowel I. It also likes O and U in like one or two spots, but it likes I in 4 spots. And then so imperfect, we like imperfect a little better because it's A across the board for all imperfect forms: assume, possum, and like regular verbs, bomb, boss, bot, right? And so I do not have. Oh yeah, for you guys, this is what I should do. I should put this guy. I don't need the chapter 18 shirt. And this guy's top. And then so yeah, can you see those a little bit, maybe? I know they're kind of low. And then for you guys, you can't see it. I just broke like 4 computers. Okay. And now y'all probably still can't see it. But if somebody wants to, y'all can move that as far as it can go to the right. So instead of the what? So what's our past tense version of can, guys? You want it loud? You don't say can if it's a past tense. We say could. So instead of he could not, ambulare apparently means to. Could not. Yeah. I don't know what happened to this woman, but she can't walk anymore. So instead of he could not walk, pueri means what? Boys. And then we see cows right next to boys, but I'm thinking maybe like boys is the subject and cows is the anyone. What do we think? It's a word we've never seen before, but it's just third declension. So what is that ES potentially? None of the third declension now. Kaylin and because it's probably the looking out there. Yeah. So it's like once again we have a subject. We're running into a direct object, but we want a verb to go between them. So the boys skip cows. The boys have a bunch. Yeah, and so it's like past tense. But if we said we're having cows, that sounds weird. So what's another way we could say the boys? Yeah, maybe like had. Had is perfect, actually. So guys, I like was and were verbing for imperfect, but every once in a while it'll sound awkward. And so you can just go with, like, you can be creative at that point and go with, like, the verbed version of the verb, in which case we don't say haved, we say had. So they had cows. Caitlin? Yeah. Okay, they had cows. Again, y'all are writing vocab. If you have any questions about any of these words, we're like, wait, what does erot mean? What does patrat mean? I will tell you. I'll write out the whole dictionary entry if you want. But what you don't need to be writing are the words that Jimmy's telling us about or the names like Sidipe and stuff. Y'all technically don't need to know cows, but if you want to know the Latin word for cows, you can write it down. All right. Cleobus betonque, Maddie, leave Grace alone, please. Sidipin, ababant, I'm gonna tell you now. Citipin there. That's her weird direct object form apparently. What? Laura? No. Yo. Yeah, go hang out with Caitlin. That sounds like a great idea. When she gets back. So Cleobus and Baton, what did they do? A mob aunt Citipin. What did they do to their mom? What any good son does to their mom, right, Caleb? They love their mom. Love sounds better than we're loving. We're loving was weird. They were loving their mom. They loved Citipin. And then Ipsy, Chicken Boy tells us with very tiny font, means like they themselves. Plaustro means wagon. And Tracto means to pull, like tractor. So they themselves, what does Igator mean, anyone? Yeah, therefore, it means therefore, write it down if you didn't know it. They themselves, therefore, tractabant the plaustrum. How do we say that? Pull the wagon, exactly. See how y'all are getting kind of like, you have instincts now with Latin, you can kind of just like put it together pretty quickly. All right, okay. So that's what that picture was. They're pulling their mom who can't walk up to the statue of the goddess whom she is the priestess of. Seems like other like attendants at the temple would help her do this. Like she wouldn't have to rely on her sons. Labor erat arduus. Arduus means hard. What English word do we obviously get from arduous? You get arduous. Have y'all heard arduous? I think it's hard. It's hard. So labor. What does labor mean? Work. Well, erat.
That's one.
Was arduous. It was hard, but says but. Some people didn't know says but. Should really know that. But the sons of Citipe, what does robust mean? Well, if y'all had to guess what robusty means, what does it mean? Carson? Yeah, probably strong. Like we could probably translate that as robust. We clearly get the word robust from that now, you know. But like strong, it kind of just means like strong or like hardy. So, but the sons of Citipe, robusti Irani went out loud. They were strong. Oh, it was already say it. They were robust. They were strong. All right. Yeah, you guys were like more engaged when y'all had the printouts. Because kids like writing things down. Like even if I never pick it up, they're wanting to get it all down. Right now though, y'all just kind of like a little bit text. It's fine. It's my fault. It was an experiment. It went badly. Now, Citipe, something about a statue. What? Not walk. Not ambulare. Videri Potteratni. Something about seeing the statue. But there's something that goes before seeing. She Potterat see the statue. Yeah. Now Citipe could see the statue. Therefore, I'm thinking Quare is therefore here because I don't think it's gonna be why if there's not a question mark at the end of this. So therefore, and this means supplico means to pray, and it takes a dative. So therefore, she was blanking to Juno. She was Aiden. Yeah. Or she prayed to Juno. Good. Juno's dative there. We haven't seen a dative in 7 years. Pulchra Dea. Oh, beautiful goddess. Let's see. Cleobus and Batonqua. What? They have bonus mores at virtutum. Who can take those? Yeah, they have good habits, good morals, and virtue. Good. What is da? What is da, y'all? When you just see da. Yeah, give, therefore. Not give me, but like give. You give a direct object blank indirect objects. Maybe this is an indirect object. Give, therefore. Anyone? Carson?
Therefore, give my son.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. Give my sons, or we could say give to my sons or just my sons. It's actually fine either way. Give my sons the best reward. Carson has the luxury of being in the front row so we can see these tiny words. Jimmy is screaming at us with his tiny chicken voice. Give to my sons the best prize, she says to Juno in her inner voice, prayer voice. She's probably not saying this out loud. Maybe she is. I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey the other day, and this woman was like talking to a statue, and then like my player character was like talking back to her from behind the statue, acting like he was Hermes, and he was tricking her. because he was trying to help her out. On account of Prex here is prayer. On account of the blanks of Centipede, on the prayers of Centipede, Juno, and this is where it gets weird, guys. Juno, this is the perfect tense version of Dodare. You guys will get the perfect tense one day, chapter 12. And it's kind of like imperfect, honestly. Well, it's like Juno gave to the boys, Sine Mora, without delay, and then without pain. Dolore is pain here. Mortem. She gave them what, Carson?
Mortality.
Not mortality. Not immortality. That's what you would think. Kaylin? Yes. Why? Okay, this is where the story gets, like, I guess a little interesting, but also it's, like, confusing.
Why are you already letting us see the answer?
So we just went through it all. All right, on account of the prayers of Centipede, Juno gave to the boys death without delay, without pain. So apparently, so Grace, can you go ahead and move behind Macy, please? Thank you. So on account of the prayers of Centipede, Juno gave to the boys death without delay, without pain. So I don't know really what the point of this story is supposed to be. Is it that, like, the mom, like be careful what you wish for, and like in the eyes of Juno, the best prize, the optimum premium, is a painless death? Or is it just that, like, gods are cruel and the goddess knew that the mom wasn't actually asking for death?
If the mom just wants a boy dead.
No, I don't think the mom, I don't think, actually wanted that. She, like, literally was like, just give my boys are good boys, give them something good. And the goddess, because she's like a freak or a creep or something, she's like, oh, I know, I'll kill him without delay and without pain. It's like, that's not what, no, like, nobody wanted that. So I don't really know what the moral here, like, goddess do not have morals. They're just, like, tragic for the sake of tragicness. Jake?
Right? I don't know what it might be, but it might be like, oh, well, the greatest prize is immediately coming to their return.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because there are some Greek conceptions of the afterlife that are somewhat similar to, like, Judeo-Christian ideas of what the afterlife is like, right? And so in that version of the afterlife, like, yeah, you get to kind of like hang out in a cool place. It's almost like low-key better even than like Earth, like life.
No.
And so maybe that's what she's thinking there. She's like, well, like, human life isn't as good as like immortal life, and the afterlife in some versions of the afterlife is immortal. So like, come on up to the afterlife, I guess. But yeah. So Cleobus and Baton now are BH just means happy or happy. And what is Perpetua Pake? We have that vocabulary. They are in Perpetua Pake. I don't mean Pocky like the Japanese dessert candy treat. Kaylin and Carson at the same time?
Forever peace.
Like forever or lasting peace, ablative. Yeah, that's from Pax Pacus, peace, right? We have that word. So this is what happened as like they went up to the temple. And then we have these statues. They're called Koroses from ancient Greece.
Yeah, we learned about them and all.
Oh, yeah, we're learning about those in art.
For real? That's kind of cool. Yeah, these are like early Greek statues, so they don't look great, honestly. They're clearly inspired by early Egyptian statuary, which is more geometric. It's more like blocky. It almost looks like early polygons in like bad graphics video games, right? Because they're not like very detailed. They're not very like lifelike and organic looking. They're kind of stiff. You know what? That's actually a great idea. That probably, yeah, probably. I mean, maybe that was a style too, but it's supposed to be representative of like young boys. And so we named these statues Cleobus and Baton. We don't actually think they have anything to do with the boys in this myth, which is a myth from like over 2,000 years ago. But archaeologists were like, hey, it's two boys. They look like brothers. Let's name them Cleobus and Baton because of this weird story that we were forced to translate in the 8th grade once. So that's Cleobus and Baton. Because they dead. Did you miss the whole ending, Caitlin?
They've been dead for hundreds of years.
I think it'd be cooler if they got like White Witch from Narnia and like turned into statues instead of dying. But I mean, it looks like they did. That's good though. That's good. I'm hot. All right, guys, that is basically it. I guess I need to print stories out for y'all, but y'all were good. I was just being kind of grumpy, honestly. Y'all can work on homework for the last 5 minutes.
What's your favorite color?
Nox. Star. Or Stella. No, Night is Nox is night, Stella is star.
What's my name in Latin?
It's Madia.
What's mine?
Huh?
Wait.
Yours is like I don't know, it's like Gracia. I don't know. Which one? It means like water or something to do with the water. That's cool. No, it has to do with the Latin word for sea or ocean. But it's like a Spanish word. Oh, guys, check it out. Ella has a really good idea about bananas. You freeze them when they go bad and use them in smoothies or other recipes. That's so true.
That's
So
what we
true.
do.
That sounds
Make banana bread.
banana bread. Yeah. And then if bread goes bad, you can do that too.
Yeah, but we eat banana bread. Like,
Banana bread's good. All right, Ella, good luck with the homework. You should probably try to have at least most of it done for tomorrow, even though technically it's not due till Thursday. But I just uploaded that in the assignments. Good luck. Good luck getting your mic to work again, and we will see you later. Y'all wave to Ella. She has to get her mic fixed.